to do. I'm here to follow you. That's the disciple. That's the heart of a disciple. That's the you and them. Right? It was when they decided to follow Jesus, they began to see no one had ever done. Hear him teach in a way that they had never heard anyone teach. But if they hadn't decided to follow him, they would have never have seen and discovered this kind of relationship that Jesus is calling. And that's where Jesus is saying to you, I'm gonna give the secrets to. To those that are saying, I'm all in. You know. But it's not just that one-time thing. It's being all in every day. Like when you stepped in here this morning, when you and I stepped in, were you all in for Jesus? You know, sometimes I have to admit, when we start worshiping, I can so easily get distracted. I can get distracted with what I've written down. I can get so distracted with what I've planned and what I've gotten written down. It's like, oh, Lord, forgive me. Right now, as we're worshiping, I just want to give you the worship. Right? I mean, how easy it is to come in to gather and get distracted. Where our minds can take us, you know, where we can go with things. You know, when you wake up on Sunday mornings for worship, and I know we always go with Monday, Tuesday, but when you wake up for Sunday morning to come and gather, are you all in for Jesus? It's like, Lord, I want to discover what you have for me. And maybe I need to discover what you're going to call me to give up. What do you have? What do you have for me as I worship you? I want to be all in, Lord. And that's what Jesus is saying. You, the disciples that are all in, that have left everything behind to follow me, I'm giving you the secrets of the kingdom. Then we keep reading. To you it has been given to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it has not been given. For to the one who has, more will be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. This is why I speak to them in parables, because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. Indeed, in the case the prophecy of Isaiah is fulfilled. That prophecy of Isaiah, you will indeed hear, but never understand. You will indeed see, but never perceive. Do you realize that in this prophecy of Isaiah, that there is a difference between seeing and understanding? Between hearing and perceiving, what is God doing? You know, when you look at a passage like this, Luke 24:44, this difference between hearing and understanding. Like right now, everyone is hearing my voice. Right? I hope. But the better thing is, my prayer is, are we understanding what the Spirit of God is saying to us? Because only the Spirit of God can pierce our soul to separate and to do that ministry work. If you are hearing only and just hearing, judging the sermon, but are not able to understand what the Spirit is saying, then you miss out on the kingdom. That's where in Luke 24:44 it says, then he said to them, these are my words that I spoke to you while I was still with you, that everything written about me in the law of Moses and the prophets and the Psalms must be fulfilled. Verse 45, then he opened their minds to understand the Scriptures. They had the Scriptures, but he had to open their minds. He had to do it. See, I can read the Scriptures, but I need the Spirit of God to open my mind to the meaning of the Scriptures and what God has for me. We can get so caught up in Bible studies, we can get so caught up in observation and interpretation without understanding what the Spirit of God is really. That's why I think many times we can man, that was a good Bible study. I learned about the background and all of this stuff, and we can miss out on what the Spirit is saying to us. And that's where the change takes place. That's where we become in awe that God is speaking to me. He's opening my mind. That's that place of awe. You know, why is it many times, and I don't know if y'all have been through this, I know I have. I remember when I first came to know the Lord, I couldn't get enough of reading God's Word. I mean, I would say I was irresponsible in the sense of, in college, I put basically all of my books aside for a semester, which I'm not going to say do that, Abby, but I just read. I couldn't get enough of God's Word. But at some point, it was like this shift where God was saying, I'm wanting you to go a little deeper, Lonnie. You know, that was maybe after a year or so, but I'm like, I want to soak in just a verse to understand what God is saying to me out of that. Now, I loved the reading through. Man, that was good. And that was where I was starting to grow, but then he took me a little deeper. You know? But the heart of a disciple wants their minds to be opened by the Spirit of God. The heart of a disciple is not going to say, oh, I've got this down. Why? Here's what we have to understand. I'm going to go back to this. Isaiah 55:6. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. I love that. Yeah, he's not far. He's near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. Let him return